Because we now cross to the Minister in the Presidency, Jackson Mthembu, who is currently giving the media a briefing.
Thank you very much for having us. We want to convey our sincere condolences to the patients who lost their lives today in the Western Cape. We want to convey to their families, their loved ones, and their associates our sincere condolences. This shows that this COVID-19 kills. We therefore appeal once again to all our people to stay at home as a means of protecting and defending ourselves against this coronavirus. Secondly, we call upon all our people and plead with them, those that are in various places where they are going to buy food or any other essential services, to please observe social distancing, because that's the only way, that's one of those ways that we can protect and defend ourselves against this coronavirus that is deadly and very infectious. We repeat again, let's stay at home, let's observe social distancing. As we know, social distancing simply means that you must be at least a meter away from another person, either next to you or in front of you, particularly those who are in the queues in our various places where they are going to shop for food. We appeal that let's observe this 1 meter away from another person, even as we stand in those queues waiting to buy food. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Minister, can we pose some questions?
Yes.
All right. Minister, there have been quite a number of instances where we saw, I know partly strong to your message is how people should stay at home. We've witnessed places in Alexandra, in Orange Farm, where there are long queues of people, and it sort of seems like in certain sections it defeats the purpose of the lockdown. What more can be done to ensure that those communities are able to abide by the rules and also still be able to get the basic necessities?
We are having a press briefing in the next 2 hours, at 18 hours. Our ministers of defense, minister of police, minister of transport, as well as minister of health, as well as the minister of trade and industry and competition will be there to speak on these issues. Indeed, we are also worried that there are many other people who are moving around when in fact they must be observing this lockdown for their own protection and also for the protection of other citizens in our country. The ministers will address this question at 18 hours in the next hour and a half.
Right, the Minister in the Presidency, Jackson Mthembu, just briefing the media there, just calling on South Africans to ensure that they adhere to the rules and the regulations. Of course, there have been some concerns a bit earlier on today where in some areas, including the Alexandra Township as well as Orange Farm, where some of the SABC News reporters were, they witnessed some long lines where some of the residents who had been queuing up to go and buy food had not been observing, a social distance, and essentially, South Africa waking up to very sad news this morning that the coronavirus has claimed the lives of 2 people, one in a public hospital and the other in a private hospital. We'll get much more details about this when the ministers brief the media at 1800 hours this evening. And certainly what we're expecting to hear is more details about those who have since passed on. And part of release that was also sent out by the health department a bit earlier on, also indicating that the numbers of those infected with the coronavirus in South Africa has gone past 1,000. We'll get an official figure from the ministers who will be gathering here at 1800 hours. So at this particular stage, the ministers who will also be in attendance here will address some of the issues pertaining to how South Africa can further deal with some of the challenges that it's still facing, irrespective of the rules and the laws that it has put in place. And we're expecting that to be live on the channel at 1800 hours.
All right, so Griselda, thanks very much indeed. We'll continue to monitor your reports from there. That's Griselda Lewis, of course, our senior reporter and news anchor. And we just heard there from the Minister in the Presidency, Jackson Mthembu, briefing the media. Very, very quick briefing, expressing condolences for the two people that passed away in the Western Cape, 28 and 48, both those ages, both women. And he expressed concern, and we've been seeing this with our reporters where we've been crossing, that particularly in queues at shops, this social distancing is not being practiced. There's a need for us to be at least a meter apart, and he says that it's very concerning. As Griselda says, we'll get more from ministers a little bit later on at 6 o'clock this evening. But